Here's a really nice throw here. Let's watch it, and then we'll come back and break it down. Jerry Jeudy to the far side. We got Denzel Boston to the close side. Looks like 21 personnel, essentially. Play fake. Great fake, by the way. And on the move, dot to Jerry Jeudy over the defense. This is a beautiful one. Sanders goes 15 of 21 with 3 touchdowns.
Cleveland Browns training camp is back, and Shedeur Sanders just gave everybody another reason to talk. Deshaun Watson looks solid too, don't get it twisted, but the tape from today tells a story. This wasn't full pads, this wasn't even the full 11-on-11 chaos people expect, but even in a lighter session, Shedeur found a way to make it feel like a headline. We're breaking down every single throw, every read, every number from today's practice, so stick around because by the end of this, you'll understand exactly why the Browns quarterback room just got a lot more interesting heading into Thursday's joint practice.
Harold Fannin, beautiful route, beautiful throw, close to the ground to ensure that no one else can get it but his guy. What is the full route concept here? It looks like a quick speed out by Casey Concepcion, who also wins his route pretty dirty, by the way. Probably could have hit him, but decides to take the lesser congested player.
That's the kind of decision-making that doesn't show up on a stat sheet, but shows up on tape. 2 receivers working, one wide open, one covered, and Shedeur takes the smart route instead of forcing the tighter window. That's not luck, that's processing speed, and it's only the first play we're looking at today.
Here's a really nice throw here. Let's watch it, and then we'll come back and break it down. Jerry Jeudy to the far side. We got Denzel Boston to the close side. Looks like 21 personnel, essentially. Play fake. Great fake, by the way. And on the move, dot to Jerry Jeudy over the defense. This is a beautiful one. So again, getting back to the snap, we're going to play action, fake this thing to the right. You're going to see he's going to fake that handoff. Outside arm is tucked by the hip to ensure that backside players makes it more difficult for them to see. And then we get that rollout while being pressured by Jared Verse.
Throwing on the run under real pressure and still putting touch on a ball over 2 defenders. That is not a rookie read. That's a guy who trusts his arm and trusts his eyes, even when the pocket is collapsing around him. Off to a great start today, and we're just getting warmed up.
All right, here's another one, Shedeur Sanders. Looks like a light practice, guys, so maybe nothing crazy to talk about. Just a couple of plays. And here's a quick slant to Casey Concepcion. Wide open versus, I believe, Grant Delpit. He had that motion right there, so I'm assuming, you can't really tell, but I'm assuming Grant was in man-to-man coverage, followed him across the formation, which gave Shedeur Sanders the green light to be like, okay, we got man-to-man, and we're going to find this slant. I'm sure Casey probably ran a great route, but you could see at a boat.
This is where it gets interesting for anybody actually studying quarterback development instead of just watching highlights. Recognizing man coverage off a pre-snap motion is a pro-level read. Shedeur saw Grant Delpit follow Casey Concepcion across the formation, understood instantly that meant man-to-man, and knew exactly where he was going with the football before the ball was even snapped. That's not reacting, that's anticipating. And it's the 3rd clean rep in a row where the accuracy and the decision-making lined up perfectly. Concepcion has quietly become a real chemistry piece for both quarterbacks in this camp, but it's worth pointing out how comfortable Shedeur looks getting him the ball early and often. Camp reps like this are exactly what people mean when they talk about a quarterback building rapport with his weapons before the lights actually turn on in September. It's not flashy, it's not going to trend on its own, but stack enough of these together, and that's how a quarterback wins a job.
Both quarterbacks have really loved and felt comfortable getting him the ball early and often in training camp. All right, another one here. Can't really tell, but looks like potentially 12 personnel, 1 running back, 2 tight ends. Again, potentially I can't see. I do see a tight end close to us, maybe one far. Denzel Boston, maybe Jerry Jeudy out there. And right here he finds Blake Whiteheart late on a release. Now, what I like about this play here, I couldn't tell if he would have been sacked, but you got 3 second-level linebackers. You got Grant Delpit at the line of scrimmage. They're going to send pretty much everybody. Every defensive lineman. I'm seeing the majority of linebackers break in. Boom, boom, right? You got Fannin leaking out. Maybe running backs blocking in the backfield, but a block and release to the far side. Because all of these second-level guys are biting down into the box, or into the backfield, I should say, Shedeur just dumps it down. Take what the defense gives you. We catch that 3, 4, maybe 5 yards over the line of scrimmage, but then catch it with 10 yards. No one within 10 yards.
Now, this is the play that actually tells you the most about where Shedeur's head is at right now. The defense disguised a heavy blitz look, loaded up the box, and dared him to either force something down the field or bail out of the pocket completely. Instead, he does neither. He recognizes the leak, finds his tight end on a delayed release, and takes what the defense is willing to give him. Nobody's within 10 yards of Blake Whiteheart after the catch, and that's a 15-yard gain that starts with a decision most young quarterbacks don't make under that kind of pressure. They either force the deep ball because they think that's what gets attention, or they panic and take a sack. Shedeur just quietly took the free yardage and moved the chains. That's a veteran answer to a blitz, and it's coming from a guy who's still fighting for reps in a two-man quarterback competition that the coaching staff has said will run through the bulk of August.
Looks like, again, 21 personnel. It looks like, once again, you got Denzel Boston, Jerry Jeudy in the game. Looks like you got a go ball. Dealt with the... No, just kidding. Okay, so row concept here. Looks like we get a late flat here by the tight end. You get a deep comeback route here by Denzel Boston and a crossing route here by Jerry Jeudy. Let's read the backfield one more time because I didn't really see what happened. Out of 21 personnel. Looks like he points something out. Play fake. Oh, wait, this is the same one we saw earlier. This is the same exact play we saw earlier, just a different angle. So what's his pass looking like? Again, beautiful over 1, 2 defenders. That is a dime. That is a dot ski. Dot ski by Shedeur. This one as well. Looks like we got 20 personnel. Could be 21. Could be 21 personnel. I don't see a tight end, but he might be out there. Dumps it down to Deshaun Sampson.
Seeing this one.
Another one here from Shedeur. A lot of Shedeur today. Drops back, looks, finds Deshaun Sampson. Might have been taken down before, but they are going to call that a touchdown on this play. Reads man-to-man, finds him. You get a two-hand touch on the backside.
However you want to score that one, the read itself is clean. Man coverage identified, backside option found, ball delivered on time. Whether that's a clean walk-in touchdown or a stop just short of it is honestly a conversation for the comments section, and we want to hear where you land on it. But strip away the debate about the exact yard line and look at the process. That's 3, 4, 5 clean decisions in a row now. Each one a different concept, each one a different coverage look, and Shedeur is answering every single one of them correctly. This is the kind of stretch that gets a quarterback room buzzing, and it's the kind of stretch that puts real pressure on a coaching staff that has to make a decision at some point before the regular season actually starts.
But does it get into the end zone? It might. It might. Deshaun did play. He got a couple of snaps, just didn't see too much from him. Here's one from him right here. Drops back, scans, finds a quick out route to Gage, I believe, in the slot, the weak side slot over there. Quick out route, good ball. That's a big time play.
Fair is fair, Watson's rep was a good one too, and this isn't a video meant to pretend he didn't show anything today. But volume matters, and today the volume belonged to Shedeur. Multiple full drives worth of clean decision-making against multiple different coverage disguises, against a real blitz, against real pressure off the edge. That's not a light day for a backup fighting for reps. That's a starter's workload, and the tape backs it up before we even get to the actual numbers.
I think that's going to be it for today. I'm going to look for some overall stats and news and notes from today, but that might be it. So it looks like this was the overall tracker for today. I don't know how legit this is or whatever it may be, but I believe them all for the most part. I don't think it includes would-be sacks, which is interesting. But either way, Sanders goes 15 of 21 with 3 touchdowns. Watson 13 of 17 with 3 touchdowns.
15 of 21 with 3 touchdowns is not a light practice stat line, no matter how you want to frame it, full pads or not. Watson's 13 of 17 with 3 touchdowns is a genuinely strong day too, and that's exactly why this competition keeps getting called the truest quarterback battle in the entire league. Nobody is running away with this job. But then you look at Dillon Gabriel's line. 2 opportunities. That's it. A few days ago, there were people online saying Gabriel was making a real push to be the number 2, and today's tracker does not back that up even a little bit. The Browns coaching staff has been clear that this competition runs through the bulk of the preseason games, decided by what happens across all 3 exhibition games, not by a single Tuesday practice in August. But when Shedeur keeps putting up efficient, mistake-free reps like this, session after session, that decision gets harder to put off. This wasn't even a full pads day. Imagine what Thursday's joint practice looks like if this is what a light session gives us. So let's actually add this all up, because the numbers by themselves already do a lot of the talking. 15 completions on 21 attempts, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions we saw on tape, against a defense that disguised coverage, brought pressure off the edge, and loaded the box more than once trying to make him uncomfortable. He answered every single one of those looks. The play-action shot to Jerry Jeudy over 2 defenders while getting pressured by Jared Verse. The pre-snap read against man coverage to Casey Concepcion. The checkdown under a full-house blitz to Blake Whiteheart for 15 yards. The backside touchdown read to Dylan Sampson. None of that is one lucky throw. That's a full practice worth of a quarterback seeing the field the way a starter is supposed to see it. And look, this isn't about tearing down Deshaun Watson. His day was genuinely good, too. 13 of 17 with 3 touchdowns doesn't happen by accident, and a fully healthy Watson is still one of the more talented arms on this roster when it's clicking. That's exactly why Todd Monken and this coaching staff keep saying this competition runs through the preseason games and not through a single practice tracker. But practices like this one are exactly how a backup turns a 2-man race into a real conversation. Every clean read, every accurate ball, every time Shedeur takes what the defense gives him instead of forcing something that isn't there, that's another data point the coaching staff has to factor in when the calendar actually forces a decision. And then there's Dillon Gabriel sitting at 2 total opportunities today. If you were one of the people saying a few days ago that Gabriel was closing the gap for that number 2 spot, today's tracker is a pretty direct answer to that. This QB room has a clear hierarchy forming in real time, and it's not the one some people were predicting a week ago. Thursday brings the joint practice, which means live reps against an entirely different opponent, different looks, different pressure, and a much bigger stage than a Tuesday session in Cleveland. If Shedeur brings this same level of decision-making into that setting, this conversation only gets louder heading into the next preseason game. So here's the actual question for the comment section, and we want real answers, not just reactions. Based on everything you just watched, are you Team Shedeur takes the starting job before week 1, or Team Watson's arm talent and experience wins out once the pads really come on? Drop it below. We read every single comment on these videos. If you enjoyed the breakdown, make sure you smash that like button. It genuinely helps this channel more than you'd think. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on post notifications, because we're covering every single Browns practice, every preseason game, and every quarterback competition update the entire way through the season. Smash like and subscribe.